And here we have our new shooting head system for single-handed rods, primarily for sea trout fishing along the coasts. It comes in 4 different versions, and it comes in floating, which is a light blue, and it comes in an intermediate, which is a color we call semi-clear, due to that the coating is clear and the core is white, so it looks, you know, a little bit milky in the water, and we call it semi-clear. Another new thing for this year is that we have made some new loops on the fly lines. You can see they are unbelievable slim, exposed core, so it's really nice. So it doesn't make a lot of fuss when it goes up and down through the guides. As we have these in kits, and you have 4 lines in each weight class, they could easily get confused when out of the boxes. So what we've done is we have printed the name of all the fly lines in tip of the lines. We have the name and all the specs printed in here, so you can easily identify them. Alright, let's look at the different types of heads. There are 4 different types of heads. One of them is a little bit special, and the other 3 is based on information we got from fly fishers around Denmark. We talked to them. We heard that certain guys made shooting heads that were specialized for their territories due to how their coastline looks. So we talked to them and we gathered that information, and the result is this series of shooting heads. The first one, actually these 3 are based on what we talked to guys around the country, and the last one is a little bit special, so we take that one in the end. First one is the presentation. The presentation is a line for those days where the water is flat and calm and the fish are very difficult to get to take the fly. Those days you need a special line that will be able to deliver small flies on thin leaders and land, you know, like a feather on the water, almost like a dry fly line. This taper will ensure that the flies are delivered that way. But it's for good days. It's not the wind for stormy weather. It's for those flat, calm days where it's fantastic to be out fishing, but the fishing is really hard. This line makes a difference. It is 9 meters long, and it's really good for those days. Second one is the one called Horizon. The Horizon is a bullet-shaped line, meaning it is very good at turning bulkier flies even when there's a bit of wind. This is a good standard head for most situations, but it is a powerful head. It has a serious punch to it. So if you're using bulkier flies like peregrine or foam flies or big flat wings or flies like that, this is really a good line for those flies. It would turn those flies easily even if there's a bit of wind. And this line is 9.4 meter long. Then we have one called, we call it Specialist. This is a short line. This is only 6.8 meter long. It has a powerful taper. So it is for those days where it's a bit of wind, or where you have very little space. In some area in Denmark we have some high hills behind you where you don't have a lot of space for your backcast. It could also be in other countries if you have cliffs or trees or something like that. A short head will make it possible for you to make a proper backcast. But we use this just as much, you know, if you're a right-handed caster and the wind comes from the right, then it tends to carry the fly very close to your head. This line, as it is shorter and it has a lot of punch into it, it will keep the fly away from your head So it's easier to cast in those days where the wind is coming in from the wrong side. You don't have to turn backwards and use your back casts as a front cast. We even use it in headwinds, and it works quite well actually. So it's a very good head to have on those annoying days when the wind is coming from the wrong side, sort of speech. Last one is the special one. We call it delayed turnover. This line is designed for those days where most of us like to go fishing where you have the wind coming from behind and it's not a too stiff breeze. That's normally the day where it's the nicest to be casting. This line will ensure you get the longest casting of those days. When a fly line is flying, it is like unrolling, and when the unroll is finished and the line is straight, the flight time has finished and it falls to the water. So if you can delay that roll, that turnover, then you prolong the flying time and you get longer casts, and that is exactly what this taper does. It is quite long head. It's 10.2 meter, but you won't feel it because the front part of the taper is actually quite light, so it flies high. You won't get it splashing in the water beside you when you're waiting. It's a very nice head, and you will get the longest cast with this head. Trust me, you will. And that's it. That's the 4 heads. What we have done is we have made it, you can buy it individually, but we have also made it like this, that you can, in the shops, you can buy a full kit, all 4, and then we have made an offer so that when you buy all 4, you only pay for 3 of them and get the last one for free. So it's a really nice offer, and if you have all 4 heads, you will be able to tackle every situation along the coastlines in whatever country you're fishing for sea trout, and get the maximum out of every situation. Very nice lines. Go out and try them. You'll be amazed about the difference there's between them, and you can really feel the difference when you're at the water.